Hello friends, today I will take you through the case of a 17-year-old teen who gets his own mother killed brutally. Initially, the motive behind the brutal murder of Tabassum Khan, a beloved and respected single mother, remained a perplexing mystery. However, as investigators delved deeper into the case, they uncovered a shocking plot woven within the confines of a Texas high school, orchestrated by an unexpected individual who had managed to conceal their intentions in plain sight. Tabassum Khan, a 43-year-old divorced mother of two, had bravely relocated from Pakistan to suburban Houston, taking sole responsibility for raising her children. Tabassum Khan's foremost identity was that of a mother. Her entire existence revolved around her children, remarked Assistant District Attorney Angela Welton from Harris County. Her youngest son, Danish Menyas, only 17 years old, occupied a special place in her heart, and he was the sole inhabitant of their home. She provided him with a car, issued him a credit card, and catered to his every need, revealed Houston Police Homicide Detective Brian Harris. However, Tabassum, being a dedicated and involved mother, also required Danish to earn his privileges by diligently attending school and completing his academic responsibilities. Danish had blossomed into a model student at his high school, greatly admired by both educators and peers, excelling academically as a straight-A senior. In school, Danish held numerous leadership positions, such as class president and principal's assistant. He was seen as the embodiment of student excellence and destined for a successful future, Detective Harris explained. The harmony in Danish's world was abruptly shattered on November 25, 2009 when he returned home to find his mother lifeless on the living room floor, her body concealed under a blanket. The sight beneath the blanket resembled a chilling scene from a horror film. Overwhelmed by grief, Danish called emergency services. Listen to this.
Blood over her face and her hair and like the sofa and the carpet.
Okay. You don't know what happened?
No, I just got in from Galveston. I just walked in this morning.
Have help coming for you, okay?
Thank you.
Stay on the line with me, though.
Even seasoned Detective Brian Harris was taken aback by the gruesome crime scene upon his arrival. Tabassum Khan had been subjected to merciless stabbing, with numerous wounds inflicted upon her body, particularly her neck and face. Defensive wounds indicated her valiant struggle to ward off her attacker, described Assistant DA Angela Welton. The murderer inadvertently left behind a conspicuous clue. We discovered bloody fingerprints around her ankles, suggesting she had been held down while repeatedly stabbed, Detective Harris added. Initially, investigators considered the possibility of the crime being a result of a burglary gone wrong. The evidence indicated that someone had rifled through envelopes, suggesting a search for something valuable. This notion was corroborated by the presence of blood splatters and transfer blood on several white envelopes, highlighted Detective Harris. However, the absence of signs of forced entry into the apartment challenged this theory. The intact door frame and absence of fresh damage negated the possibility that someone had pried the door open, observed Harris. The heinous nature of the murder, coupled with the fact that the killer concealed Tabassum's head, led investigators to explore alternative angles. These elements suggested a potential personal connection between the killer and the victim, as well as feelings of shame, Harris noted. Consequently, investigators pivoted their focus to unraveling the identity of the murderer. This mystery might have remained unsolved if not for one monumental mistake. The killer left a bloody handprint on an apartment door handle. Upon analyzing the blood, we determined it did not belong to Tabassum Khan, disclosed Detective Harris. Scrutinizing the available forensic evidence and revisiting the 911 call, investigators sought additional clues. In the distressing call, 17-year-old Danish mentioned returning from Galveston, Texas that morning, catching the attention of Detective Brian Harris. Even before being prompted about his whereabouts on the night of the murder, Danish voluntarily presented an alibi. When the person making the emergency call is the culprit, they often attempt to establish an alibi. In this case, Danish mentioned he had been in Galveston, explained Detective Harris. Furthermore, Danish proceeded to offer unsolicited details to cover his tracks, specifically about the door being open and unlocked upon his arrival. This implies that either the victim willingly opened the door for her killer or that the door was purposely left open, deduced Harris. Alongside these indicators, Detective Harris found Danish's pristine clothing at the bloody crime scene suspicious. His attire displayed no trace of blood stains. His immaculate appearance resembled that of a prep university model, raising suspicions. It was unusual for someone to find their mother's lifeless body and not reach out or hold her. His hands showed no signs of any stains, stated Detective Harris. In addition to these unsettling discoveries, investigators also learned about a heated argument that Danish had engaged in with his mother just one day prior to her murder. The argument, ironically, arose from whether Tabassum would sign Danish's paperwork for an internship at the Houston Police Department, stated Detective Harris. Assistant District Attorney Angela Welton added, to Danish, it seemed as if his desires took precedence, while his mother became an obstacle hindering his chosen path in life. Danish himself admitted during a recorded interrogation, she wanted me to pursue a career in the medical field, whereas I desired to enter law enforcement. Danish also acknowledged having previous disagreements with his mother regarding her overprotective nature and strict rules regarding his social life. According to Danish, another confrontation occurred the day before the murder when he expressed his desire to stay out late at night. Detectives straightforwardly questioned Danish about whether he killed his mother in a fit of rage. Danish vehemently denied any involvement, stating, "No. I couldn't even fathom that. She's my mother." Providing an alibi, Danish claimed that he had taken a girlfriend to a movie theater in nearby Galveston, dropped her off at 4:30 a.m., and remained out all night, returning home nearly 4 hours later to discover his mother brutally stabbed to death. Detectives remained skeptical of his account, persistently suggesting that Danish was responsible for his mother's murder, attempting to elicit a confession. On a Tuesday school night, this is a kid who, according to his mother's rules, wasn't allowed to drive on the freeway or be out past 8 o'clock at night. It simply doesn't make sense, Detective Harris explained. Despite the accusations, Danish staunchly maintained his innocence, insisting, "I didn't kill my mother. I couldn't even bear the thought. Why would I harm someone who has done so much for me?" Detective Harris found Danish's unwavering stance further confirmation. With the arrest of Nur Muhammad, in connection to another crime, Danish's story of being innocent fell apart. Nur Muhammad had a cut with sticks on his hand, Detective Harris says.
Nur Muhammad was a crook. He was a criminal. He was a gang member. He's been involved in robberies and other types of crimes. He was wearing one glove, like Michael Jackson, on his hand. And he takes it off, and I see the stitches. I asked him to explain, how'd you get that cut? And he says he was cutting turkey.
During the interrogation, Nur Muhammad revealed that he was hired by Danish to kill his mom. Danish felt his mother had been trying to control him, whereas he believed that he was the man at home. Danish claimed that his mother treated him more like a child and was strict. He resented this motherly act. Both Danish and Nur Muhammad are found to be guilty. Danish was sentenced to 50 years, and Nur to 40 years in prison. Now that he is behind bars, he claims he is remorseful and that he often thinks about killing himself or harming himself. Detective Brian Harris says that doesn't surprise me that Danish would talk about taking his own life, but Danish would never do anything to harm himself, because Danish still believes in his own head that he's the best-looking and smartest guy in that prison. Danish has sufficient time at hand to work on it. His first chance of getting parole happens only by 2035. Friends, remember, crime never pays. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. I will come back next week with another crime video. Till then, bye-bye.